Have you ever stopped to think that the simple belief in something can heal the body? Imagine an empty capsule with no active ingredient, but when taken, it relieves pain, reduces symptoms, and even promotes cures that medicine cannot explain. It sounds like magic, but it's science. This is the placebo effect, one of the most fascinating proofs that the mind has extraordinary power over the body. Today, we're going to dive into this phenomenon that challenges traditional logic and shows that believing can be as powerful as a real medicine. The placebo effect is simple to understand, but profound in its implications. It happens when a person receives an inert substance, such as a sugar pill or a flour solution, believing it is a real medication. What's surprising is that, often, the body responds as if it were truly being treated. The term comes from Latin placebo, meaning "I shall please," and it symbolizes exactly that, the ability to please the mind so deeply that the body resonates with healing. Modern science has already proven that the placebo effect is not just psychological, but biological. When we believe something will heal us, the brain responds by releasing neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. These substances regulate pain, improve mood, and even strengthen the immune system. In neuroimaging exams, researchers observed that the areas of the brain responsible for pain literally switch off when the patient receives a placebo. In other words, it's not imagination. It's a concrete physiological response created by the mind. There are remarkable stories that prove this power. A classic example occurred in knee surgeries. Patients were anesthetized, but only half received the actual operation. Doctors merely made small cuts, simulating the surgery. The result was astonishing. Many who did not undergo the real procedure reported significant pain relief and even regained mobility. Another striking case happened with Parkinson's patients. Upon receiving placebos, believing they were real medications, their brains released enough dopamine to reduce symptoms. There are even reports of doctors witnessing tumors shrinking, pain vanishing, and illnesses improving solely through the power of belief. But if there is a bright side to placebo, there is also a dark one, the nocebo effect. It occurs when a negative belief generates harmful effects. Patients who believe a drug will cause side effects may actually experience nausea, dizziness, or pain, even when they've taken only an inert capsule. This shows that the mind can be both an ally and an enemy. Our expectations, whether positive or negative, shape the physical experience we have with the world. And here, science and spirituality converge. In quantum physics, the observer effect shows that reality behaves according to the attention of the observer. In the spiritual field, ancient traditions spoke of faith, prayer, and intention as forces capable of healing. Placebo is the bridge between these two perspectives. It testifies that consciousness has creative power, whether in the quantum realm or in the physical body. When we truly believe, we collapse an invisible possibility into a tangible reality. The big question is, if placebo works when we believe in something external, can we consciously create our own internal placebo? The answer is yes. Science has already shown that practices like visualization, meditation, and positive affirmations activate the same brain healing mechanisms as placebo. When you close your eyes and imagine yourself healthy, prosperous, and in balance, your body begins producing the chemicals that correspond to that state. The mind does not distinguish reality from imagination, and this opens a vast space for creating a harmonious life. You can apply this practically in daily life. Upon waking up, take a few minutes to breathe deeply and visualize your body full of energy, as if already healed and balanced. Use positive affirmations like, "My body is healthy," "My mind creates balance," or "I open myself to natural healing." These simple commands, when repeated with intention, act as triggers to activate internal regeneration processes. It's not just a mental exercise. Repeated practice creates new neural connections and strengthens your biology. The placebo effect also teaches us something profound about the doctor-patient relationship. Research shows that the way a doctor communicates a diagnosis or prescription directly influences the outcome of treatment. When a professional conveys confidence and hope, the chances of recovery increase. This demonstrates that healing depends not only on the substance itself, but also on the energy, emotion, and belief shared in that moment. Another fascinating point is that even animals respond to the placebo effect. In experiments with dogs and cats, improvements in symptoms were observed after placebos were administered by their owners. This suggests that the field of belief and expectation can be transmitted, and that perhaps there is a deeper link between consciousness and biology that goes beyond human rationality. From a philosophical standpoint, the placebo effect challenges our very definition of reality. If an empty capsule can generate healing, to what extent is what we call real merely a reflection of our beliefs? Perhaps life is largely a projection of what we choose to believe. This reflection leads us to see the mind not as a simple product of the brain, but as an active creator that shapes each experience. Imagine for a moment if humanity consciously used placebo on a large scale. What would a healthcare system look like in which patients learn to activate their own inner healing resources, reducing unnecessary drug use? This is not a distant vision. Hospitals and research centers are already investigating therapies that stimulate this potential, uniting science, spirituality, and integrative practices. Beyond physical health, the placebo effect can also be applied to areas such as sports performance, mental focus, and even prosperity. Athletes who believe in rituals or specific techniques often achieve better results simply through the power of belief. Similarly, when we believe in our capacity to prosper, the body and mind align to seek opportunities and solutions. In this sense, placebo ceases to be merely a medical phenomenon and becomes a universal key to manifestation. The placebo effect is a powerful reminder that we are not just victims of destiny or genetics. We are active co-creators of our experience. If a sugar pill can cure pain and transform symptoms, imagine what you can achieve when you consciously choose to believe in yourself, your body, and your mind. It's an invitation to realize that faith is not only a religious concept, but a biological, quantum, and spiritual force that shapes reality. In the end, the placebo effect shows us that healing does not come only from outside, but is born within us. Medicine may be important, but it is belief that activates transformation. When you change the mind, you change the body. And when you change the body, you change your life. If this message resonated with you, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to rediscover the power of their own mind. Because believing is the first step toward transformation, and perhaps the greatest healing lies exactly here, in the power of your consciousness.